Hi, fifth graders. Welcome to day 4 of our taco truck project. Today we are going to be actually designing the physical menu and also starting to think about the layout of the inside of your truck. Because after we've designed it, our next and final step is going to be to build the 3D model of your truck. So let's start off with designing the menu. It says your next assignment is to create a menu for your taco business. Menus are interesting because there are so many different ways that you can create one. Your job is to create a menu that captures the food and flavor of your taco truck business. You've created a business name, designed logos, and even created designer tacos. Bring it all together with the menu that shows it. How you design and create it is up to you. Below are the only 4 requirements that must be included, but the rest is up to you. So you need to think about what your theme is going to be for your taco truck. What color scheme do you want to use? What format do you want your menu to be in? The only thing that is required is that you include your business name, your logo, listing of all items of food and prices. So you need to have your whole entire menu on there, all tacos, toppings, shells, main meats, desserts, drinks, etc., platters. And then you also need to include your designer tacos and prices, the ones that you created, your specialty tacos. There are blank menu templates included, or you may create your own. Pick which would work best for you. If possible, you might even be able to incorporate some ideas into the 3D version of the taco truck at the end of this project. Before you begin, take some time and look at different types of menus. These could be paper or online versions from various restaurants. Make sure to focus on the design and layout because it is important that the customers understand it. So you'll see that you have a blank piece of paper that you could use. We have a grid line. We have a tri-fold design menu. These are just some options. You can create your own as well if you just want to use a blank piece of paper to create your menu. That's fine as well. Or maybe you want to do it online on a Google slide or on a Google document. It's all up to you. Be creative with it. Just make sure that it's easy to follow along and try to think about what would make most sense. Does it make sense to have all of your platters listed all over the menu, or would it make more sense to maybe have them all in one section titled platters? Same thing with desserts. Maybe it might be a better idea to have all of your tacos in one area. Try to keep it organized so that it's easy for the customers to find what it is that they want to order. The second step for today is to start building or thinking about how you're going to build your taco truck. So again, we're going to be creating a 3D model, and I'll show you some pictures of what that might look like. So let's scroll down to the end where the pictures are. Okay, so you have these pieces, but you still have to design and cut them out. So this is what your taco truck is going to look like. You will have a base, some walls, and a roof. Think about it as a rectangular prism. Then you're going to put them together, just like this, and actually create your own taco truck interior. Then you're also going to create little pieces that go inside, the appliances, the stove, the refrigerator, cabinets and counters, I guess it lists cabinets twice. These are just with countertops. These are just cabinets. Anyhow, so these are all pieces that you're going to put within your truck, okay? And then when it's done, it will be a pretend functioning restaurant. Okay, so what are you doing today, you ask? Well, after you design your menu, you are going to take a look at the parts that you will be using in your taco truck. So, things to know. Your taco truck will have a list of items that must be included. This will be a list of items for the floor plan and the walls. You will decide where to put everything. This includes a counter and open wall to serve customers. As you create the layout of the truck, you will need to find the area and perimeter of the items from the requirement list. Units will be the measurement used for perimeter and area. For example, perimeter would be 24 units, area would be square units or units squared. You're going to use your geometry skills to find the best solution to fitting all of the items you need into your truck. All cars and trucks are filled with geometry in real life. Use those ideas to help you make the best choices. Math is everywhere in our world, and you will see that for sure as you're building your trucks. Be prepared. Your taco truck must make sense and fit together. Make sure you leave space for the driver to drive it. So you need to think about logistics. Where is your driver going to sit? How will they move around? How will your chefs move around? So let's talk about the parts. There are 4 major parts of the truck that you will build and design. You have the base. This is where you will create the floor. The truck base is bolded, but the paper is full size to help with keeping the truck together. So this bolded rectangle is the outline of the base. It's just on a bigger piece of paper so that we can pretend that this is the ground around the truck. Then you have 2 pieces of wall section. They're going to be folded to create the front and back sides of the wall. So you'll see that this section right here is for the side of the truck. This is the other side of the truck. This might be the front and this might be the back. You'll fold it along those lines. They'll both make an L and then they'll sort of fit together like a rectangular prism. Then you have the roof as well. The size is just a little large so it can sit on top of the truck without falling through. Each of the major parts will be on separate pieces of paper. They can be cut out and placed together to form a taco truck in the shape of a rectangular prism. So let's take a look at an example of a blueprint. A blueprint is sort of like a map of how you're going to build something. After you've created the layout, you will have to find the area and perimeter. Not all items will be exactly perfect, so estimate as close as you can. So let's see, you will design the base using a bird's eye view, meaning you're looking at it from above, as if you were a bird looking down into the truck. Imagine looking straight down as you add in the furniture and lay it all out. So you're going to need a counter. This is just an example floor plan. So if we look, the area of this counter is 15 square units. If we look, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units wide, and 1, 2, 3, about 3 units long. So if we find how many squares that takes up, it's about 15 square units. And if you count the perimeter, it would be 16 units. So it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and so on until you get to 16. It asks, checkout counter. What is the area? What is the perimeter? Work table gives you the area and perimeter. Walkway, what is the area? What is the perimeter? Storage gives you the area and perimeter. And driver area gives you the area and perimeter. Again, this is just an example. So you would have the driver area, and this would be where people are cooking, and this is where the customers would come up. So, rough draft today, instructions. This rough draft will be used as a blueprint and will include all items from the requirement list. The requirement list will be included on the page. Check off each item once you have included it. So you have the base, and the inside of the truck will look like the 4 walls have been laid down. As you design the layout, you may have to turn your paper so the drawings match up on the side of the truck. All right, so this is your blueprint. Create your rough draft of the taco truck. Check off each item after you add it to your truck. So you're going to need a driver's seat, a work counter, a sink, an oven, a trash can, an ordering counter, a stovetop, a window over the counter, cash register, supply cabinet, freezer, a walkway so that you can walk within the truck, and an exit out the back of the truck. So you are going to be using this rectangle, which is your base, and you have to fit all of those objects in here. So you need to think about your proportions. Is the driver's seat going to take up half of the bus? No, definitely not. Actually, I said bus, but it's truck. It's definitely not going to take up half of it. You won't have any room for your other furniture in there. Now, a stovetop needs to be big enough to cook on, but maybe not so big that it takes up half of the counter. Think about the proportions, and you can look at this as an example, okay? So you're going to draw on here as your rough draft where you want things to go. Then you're going to check them off to make sure that you have everything, okay? Tomorrow, we will work on your final version, which is when you will be putting together your final measurements to make sure that everything fits in there. So for today, you're designing your menu and you are drawing your rough draft blueprint. Make sure that you have all of these objects in there, and it might help to use colored pencils so that you can see the difference between the different objects. If you use all one color, it might be very hard to follow along with what you intended everything to be. And it's probably a good idea to label them as well so that you don't forget, because if you just have a bunch of rectangles, when you go to do it tomorrow, you'll probably forget what each rectangle symbolizes. Don't forget these bigger ones attached are actually the walls. That's just imaginary, so you can imagine folding them up. The base is this center rectangle right here. Okay, so everything needs to fit in that. All right, let us know if you have any questions.